What's up everybody, it's DDK back again with another video, and you may have noticed that I actually have a proper overlay that got made for me. I'm pretty happy with it. Might have to fix the aspect ratio of the little box for the webcam thingy so there's no black at the top, but whatever. Let's get into this game I'm going to show you, and first I guess I'll give you some information about it. Of course it's QuakeWorld, as you can see. There's Kenya hour here at the DDK household, and I'm going to show you a cmt3 game. I'll probably show you the other Kenya maps as well, and for those not initiated into QuakeWorld, they probably won't recognize the term Kenya, and it is a QuakeWorld specific term, and the origins are probably they're somewhat retarded as far as I'm to understand, but nevertheless Kenya as a term stuck, and it means any map that's not a TB3 map. And the TB3 maps we've seen, DM2, DM3 and E1M2, but this is a non-TB3 map, therefore it is a Kenya map, so there you go. And usually it's used as a disparaging term, but yeah, it kind of stuck. So let me just show you around this map if you're not familiar. This is the red armor room, this is where the red spawns, where I'm looking at right now. And now the red armor room is the key place you want to hold when you're playing this map. This is the red armor of DM3 basically. It's the same kind of concept, and on cmt3 we are going to basically want to play it like DM3. Is quite similar in how you want to play it. So you get the red and you want to expend out, and here we have a tally which goes right to the other side of the map, and we have a little hole which, yeah, I won't show you that. That will completely confuse you and you'll lose your bearings. So red armor, a tally down there, and if we go up here we can get to pen, and if we go straight on we get to quads and can go across the bridge to the other side of the map. And also below the red is a shaft. So, and there it is, it spawns in that lava. So we can see that red is a very desirable place to hold, and that's the aim for any team. And after you have red, you want to extend your cells, make sure you're running the shaft, getting the power-ups of course, and most importantly you want to be running this rocket launcher that spawns here. And this is what we're probably going to see quite a lot of. The guys with the red coming and running around, taking it, swooping it as it spawns, much like on DM2 with the low RL on DM2. And they'll sweep this up and then go back to red, make sure that's safe, and maybe take a detour to the yellow armor room on the way, which in here is the yellow armor room. I'll just show you the pen quickly and then we'll just get into this. There's also an invis on this map, a ring, pen, and ring up here. So there you go, there's a quick little tour of cmt3 if you weren't familiar with it. I hesitate to go into too much depth, but let's get this game started. I'll turn off the music, and okay, and the music's faded out, and let's see, right, this is pretty ghetto. I forgot to make another scene. That's pretty awesome. We're all about the professionalism here on my YouTube channel. So here we go. 3, 2, 1. Oh, sorry. First I have to introduce the teams. tVS against 2B. 2B, a bunch of Russians. Gore, unnamed. Blaze. I don't know who Ass is. That could be XN. No, XN is unnamed, so I don't know who Ass is. And for tVS we've got Blaze, Iminen, Milton, and Xantum, the kind of all-star or the most famous lineup for tVS in the recent years. So let's just go. Make sure auto track is on. Here we go. We'll do the usual thing, a brief pause at the start to see who got what, so we know what to kind of expect going into the beginning moments of the game. Okay, everyone's taking stuff, so let's see who's got what. So from the team overlay at the top right, we can see that the pen and the quad were both picked up by 3B, and they also have the rocket launcher. Although the rocket launcher is going to die, he's really low, and he's being attacked by tVS player. And tVS have ring and shaft and GL, so definitely a much better start for 3B going into this game. So let's see. Oh, and the first rocket, unnamed, he managed to survive, so he's going to be waiting on this yellow, and he will get taken out by Blaze. So great move by Blaze. Really, that's as much as Blaze could have hoped to achieve with his shaft in that situation. Managed to kill the LG and steal away the yellow on the respawn. So if we actually there we go, we've got the auto track. We can see the pen sitting on the rocket, a usual move to make, and now he's just going to have to wait for this yellow. He can't do much more, so he wants to grab this yellow and then make a play onto the quad, and he's going to have some tVS players to contest with probably, but they don't really have much right now, so it should be a relatively easy pickup for Gore, but he did just take a lot of damage. That should have really been one of those situations where you take a little bit of damage and then you like, you know, 20 damage, and then boom, the guy's dead. But Gore managed to take a lot more damage there, so that could change quite a bit here. But he's got a good position to help his team grab this quad. They made a nice little setup on it, and Gore, proceeding with that quad now onto the red area, is going to help get his team the foothold onto red. And XN, or unnamed, I'll keep calling him unnamed because that's what he is in the game, so it's not to be too confusing. He actually has a shaft, and he's going to be using that shaft to basically keep red with Blaze. And really, when you have a shaft, your goal is to kill rocket launchers or to secure areas by killing stacked players, or to get yourself a rocket launcher once you have some armor. And we can see there Blaze using that shaft. Use the teleport to blow. Here it is. Boom, straight up to the red. He used that, and he instantly killed, who was it? It was Blaze. I think Blaze on Blaze action there. I think he killed Blaze and got his pack. So they've got to be careful about that. If they get out of position too much, then that tends to happen, that sort of sneak attack. Because you've got to remember, the shaft is actually very close to the red area. So it's not too far-fetched of a strategy, of a play for the guy who gets the shaft in this area to, as you can see Gore doing, moving in this lower area to see if he can make his way onto the red. So there you go, he got taken down, but we're looking at a 2 frag difference in the game now, and tVS, despite getting the arguably worst start, they played it quite well, and they're managing to take a lead now in this game, both in control and just now in some frags also. So we have red spawning soon, and Blaze should be more than capable with his loadout to deal with anyone who attacks him there. And he's got to be careful. Red's actually spawning now. There we go. Blaze manages to get it. Now Blaze has definitely got to be the player who's going to get this quad, or they want him to get this quad, unless it gets stolen, of course. And Blaze is going to need to make sure that he always keeps check of red at this point, because his team don't really have. Oh, there we go. In comes XN, unnamed. Blaze managed to grab the quad and kill him with that quad rocket. But to finish my point, when they're in a position, tVS that is, where they don't have that many rocket launchers, they have the guy like the Blaze, for example, the guy who has the most, or pretty much all of the entirety of tVS's weapons and stack. He needs to make sure that red never gets taken over by the enemy team. So there's often a tendency that players will try to overextend themselves in spots where their team doesn't have, like, they have like an advantage, but they don't have like a proper control yet. And when people overextend in that situation, that's when the other team gets back into the game. So we can see that Blaze managing to survive with his quad, doing a pretty good job overall. But FreeB, despite being behind control and losing most every power up so far since the start, they're actually keeping the game pretty close, and a really good attack onto Blaze there to push him into the lava and finish him off finally. So now Blaze is dead. yeaaah is the player of tVS that has the most, and he's going to have to make sure that no one gets onto this red but his teammates. And we can see Gore there landing some great rockets onto him. That's really, really good for FreeB. Gore had absolutely nothing. He stole that completely out from under yeaaah and completely didn't expect Gore to be there and capitalized on the fight. Hit 2 or 3 direct rockets, but Blaze managed to get back onto this with a rocket. I didn't see how that happened, but Gore was very weak, so still we can see that control isn't really solidified for either team. But we do have a pen spawning right now, and Blaze is right on it. And will he get it? There we go. Got to be careful. It's much like the DM3 pen in a sense that anyone can drop onto that, and Blaze does manage to get the pickup though, and it doesn't get stolen away from him, so that's good news. And here we go, rocket jump on to try and catch up to the enemy quad player, and he manages to get a little bit of damage onto him, but apart from that, not much else he can do. So he has to fall back onto the red, and that's the good play to make. You get basically a certain amount of time. Every time you get a power up, you get the first 10 or 15 seconds of that pen to roam around and try to accomplish something like stealing weapons, killing enemy power-ups, and so on and so forth, getting teammates weapons. But as soon as you've used up that buffer of like 10 to 15 seconds, the first half of that pen, you have to hightail it over to the red in the majority of cases, because you're going to basically lose all of your armor. Pen only gives you health and vulnerability, no armor and vulnerability, and especially as red is the best place to to build your control from, you need to make sure that you always have it. So there we go. Milton now with a rocket, but he's waiting on that yellow, and we've got Blaze of 3B with the quads, and he's looking pretty good for weapons, although he would very much like an armor at this moment in time. This is unfortunate for him because he can't really do much with this quad. He can't really go crazy. Sometimes if you have a shaft, just a shaft and a quad, you can go absolutely nuts. You don't have to wait for armor, because with shaft you just have to instantly, like, one cell on a guy is 120 damage. So, and it's an instant hit if you get the first like click, if you will, onto them. So you can basically come around corners and instigate people with the quad shaft, and you don't really need armor. Like if you drop that shaft, it's not nearly as big of a deal as if you're running around dropping a rocket launcher. But Blaze there had a situation where he had both rocket and LG, so he couldn't really take the risk of losing his weapons. And we can see that like it was a good play. He managed to survive, which is always a good ethos to live by. Is survival comes first in most cases when you have a lot of weapons, the rocket and the shaft. And Blaze aiming a little bit too high there to hit the button, but he will put himself onto that quad, and look at this, he's making a good run around the map. This is the kind of out of control side of the map with the yellow and the rocket launcher, and he's going to want to sweep everything he can, and he can't actually take that yellow right now, so he's going to be pointing it for his teammates to take. And so long as he can keep that away from his opposing the opponents, like Milton there. Milton with a rocket but no armor at all to work with, and quad is spawning in 20 seconds, so with that kill on Milton, 3B are looking in really good shape for the next power up, and for basically getting themselves even further ahead, because they already have control. And this is the point in the game where they've had a little bit of control, and the quad that they got gave them even more control, but they still didn't have that full lock, so to say. But this is the quad which will basically like give them the full lock, because they've got so many weapons, although they did just lose a rocket launcher, so they've only got 2 weapons now. But either way, Gorn really needs to get himself over to that rocket. He's got a teammate on the red, doesn't have to worry about that too much. And here we go, he's at the rocket. He's going to be able to clear a lot of players out. Good rockets there to give all of those dudes spawning in, and are great by Gore's teammate there to come in at the right moment. Oh, there it is, unnamed. To come in at the right moment to grab that rocket launcher, and Gore not able to stick around for too long with very low health. Is going to fall back to this red area, and will actually bore. So there's packs there, but his teammates are around there, so they can cover the packs and grab the packs, get the reds, so it's no problem. Always got to watch out for boring at reds if it's under enemy control. It's never a good option to take. And we've got quad now with Ass. 3v Ass takes the quad, and he's going to try and come in to sweep this rocket. And apparently he doesn't want to do that. He wants to try and cut off any enemy players who are going to the red side, but that wasn't actually the case. And here we go, he does go through the tally, finds a couple players, kills the weapon. It's a good result for 3B, keeping those weapons down with the quads. 10 minutes coming up now, and the second pen or the third pen rather, is going to spawn at the halfway mark. We'll have to see if tVS can manage to steal this pen somehow. It's very stealable on this map. It's a nice little feature of the map, and they really need this. And there we go, Blaze, tVS Blaze gets it. Oh, he's going to chase Ass, and Ass botches the rocket jump, and Blaze will actually kill him. So that's one weapon dealt with already by Blaze's pen. So that's a great result for tVS, and they needed this desperately to get back into the game. So again, things are going to start to look a little bit more even now as we continue on with this game. And Blaze gonna be able to hopefully take this red armor, or at least get it for a teammate. I think he's expecting Xantum to come and get it, but no, Xantum is left. But Blaze, with that, as we can see with that pen, like as he's invulnerable, no one's really gonna push him away from that or push him off of that red. So good play there, and Xantum splitting off away from the red onto this rocket. Now they have both red and rocket times. They aren't very healthy, but they have the times, and they've been able to deny it from the enemy. And here we can see Milton managed to get onto the red with a rocket, and he's absolutely stacked now, and he's going to go to the other side of the map. We have a quad spawning in 15 seconds, and Milton's looking to deny the next rocket and also get himself a good position on this quad, but he's taking a lot of boomstick damage. But 3B not really with any weapons right now, aren't going to be able to do much to stop him getting it. And Milton, dropping that pack, very risky decision by Gore, and that is going to give that pack away. Okay, Milton's forced to take it, so good little, it's not really a flood, but good little pressure from 3B to make sure that Milton has to take the pack and can't save it any longer. And Milton, upon getting this red, which I can't see him not getting it, it's going to be in absolutely great shape to start running the map by himself if he needs to. It's very doable to really run the map by yourself on this. I wonder why it's switched, auto-track switched to unnamed there. Very interesting. Let's go back to Milton. Let's find Milton. There we go. Milton I lost quite a bit of the stack. I'm not actually sure why they're up here. Ring does spawn around here, and I don't know. I don't think Ring is spawning soon. I guess there's a little bit of health up there, so Milton's probably going for that. But in doing so, he missed the quads, and he wasn't that low, so I'm not sure what was going on there. But here we go, Blaze with the quad, only a boomstick, not much health. Just gonna see what kind of damage he can get done. Not much, no big loss. His team still has control. And here we go, Milton defending red very well there. 3B not really able to make a dent yet on this red area, and it's the difference. The frag difference is coming up to 20 frags now, and 3 minutes on from that pen steal, we can see that tVS have really made the most of it, and they're closing the difference slowly but surely. But 3B, they're putting up a great fight. They're not giving anything away for free, and we have a quad in 8 seconds. 3 rockets for tVS, 1 for 3B. 3B do have a shafter there, as we could see, Gore. And I think the quad just got team killed there or something. I'm not sure what happened. I missed that. But there's no quad on the map. And there's 3 rockets for 3B now to 1. What a swing that was. So Ass has really got to be considering this red now. And oh, great! He's got a pack. He's got a pack there at red floor for a teammate. Gore grabs it. It's going to go to the yellow, hopefully. And it's going to be under a lot of pressure. They managed to get the steal, and he drops the pack. That's horrendous. Oh no, that's horrible news for 3B. That was such a needless drop. Yeah, it's interesting because basically what happened there. Nice rocket kill from Blaze there. One of the things that happened there was he actually managed to put himself. I think it was Gore. He managed to put himself in a really poor position by trying to save the pack, and the pack was basically like on a spot in which anyone could swing around and grab it, and like he didn't have any good position to defend it with. So I mean, saving those packs is often debatable, because if you weigh up saving the pack versus Gore getting onto the red, getting position, and guaranteeing himself survival and the reds for his team, you're suddenly looking at a situation where you're like if you're a poker player, it's by far like the plus EV play, because it's the much safer play that's going to yield better results in the long term, because the position is something you can guarantee yourself, and like he can't guarantee there's a teammate nearby to pick up that pack. There could just as well be an enemy. It's just too much of an unknown there, so you want to go with getting myself a red with my rocket, because I can do so much with the rocket. The impact is so huge. But 3B managing to grab that pen, and tVS are in trouble now, because that was the last pen. There's no more pens going to spawn. So, and he even stacks up on the quad as well. So tVS have 30 frags with which they need to come back, and they've only got 4.5 minutes to do so. And right now, 3B have all the power-ups. They don't have position on red though. This is a mistake from us, I think, because they can't really give away red position. And right now they have no one on red. Gore is nearby though. And it's really oh, there we go, we can see tVS gone on the red. So that's a position where the quad pen carrier overextended himself, didn't correctly recognise that there's no one, none of my teammates have really got red safe. There's weapons on the map still, so I really need to be at the red instead of trying to remove the next rocket launcher or remove the next yellow. And we can see though 3B is still getting the quad, and they're going to desperately need to get red back right now. He has to kill Milton. Oh, there we go, great shot there, and he's going to get a pack for it as well. Got to be careful though, because it's in such a horrendous position. I think, I'm not actually, who got that pack? I didn't read the name very well there, but at least it's 4 rockets for 3B and 1 for tVS. They've just got to sit on the armors now. As long as they sit on the armors, make sure they have good position, they should be great in a great spot now to try and secure themselves the victory. There we go, getting some more armors. They're still really light on armor. No one really has armor apart from Gore. Gore is the only guy with any armor right now. And we don't have anyone at red, as far as I can see on the team overlay. We can see Ass making his way over there. Okay, Blaze grabs that red, but he hasn't got a weapon or anything. And here we go, Gore coming in from the back. Going to make an attack onto this quad. And use a shaft. Blaze manages to steal it. But nevertheless, I'm finding it hard to see a tVS comeback now with 2.5 minutes left in the game and 40 frags to make up. Without control, it's looking grim for them. Their hopes are going to be in Xantum right now because he's the only guy on their team with a weapon. Let's switch over to Xantum. He's waiting for that yellow, but and as he does grab it, he's going to be pushed up to the ring. So he's not going to be attacking red from the best of positions right now, but he might catch someone on the blind side. There we go. Catches Gore on his blind spot, but like 1 or 2 cells away from actually killing him, so unlucky for Xantum there. Had he got a kill there, it would have been a pack and a red and probably a quad, so unfortunate result. And this always is horrible when you grab the shaft and you're forced to use all of the cells on spawners. So if we auto track this back, we got Gore running around with loads of weapons and armor and having a fun time of life, and we've got Blaze here of tVS boomsticking his way around with the quad. We'll pick up that rocket launcher, but oh, here we go, comes attack. Oh, gets a little boost there, doesn't manage to connect the rocket though, unfortunately. So all the rockets apart from one have been removed from the game, and we're watching him. Eminen with the last rocket alive, making sure work of the spawners. But yeah, cmt3 is a nice map. There's some contention that it's a great map at the top level, as there is the argument that whilst it is kind of similar to DM3, on DM3 it's a lot harder to control the weapons if you're in control. Like if a really good team is in control with great team coordination, it's much harder to get the rocket launchers as a team that is out of control. And if you get the rocket launchers, on average you're going to take a lot less damage than you would if you were a player trying to get a rocket launcher on DM3, because on DM3 there's so much, oh right in the face, there's so much distance to walk that where you have no cover on DM3 with the rocket launcher, as well as the ever-present threat of discharges. It's definitely a problem, and on this map there's a lot more safety, a lot more cover, there's no threat of discharges. So there is that contention, but nevertheless there's been a lot of great games on this map and it's a fun one to play. So so if you've never played it, you should get a mix going on it, and I'm sure people would play with you. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that. I hope you guys liked the new overlay, and more stuff coming in the future. Catch you later.